Hi, I'm Ole from subphotic.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how I use my Tegeler 32 channel summing mixer. It's an analog piece of equipment that can color the signal. I mainly use it for the mix bus, but it can also be used on individual instruments and groups and buses. As a supplement to a video like this, it would be amazing for you to download my free mixing cheat sheet. The link is in the description, and there I have broken down my mixing workflow into 10 simple steps to follow that you can use as a reference next time you're mixing a song. And also, there are 15 cheat codes that you can pick and choose from to just supercharge your mixes. Download it. The link is in the description. Now, as you can see right there, I have my Tegeler 32 channel summing mixer. It's actually used for summing many instruments or signals into one stereo signal, but I have used it only for processing. It's a strictly processing box for me. So what it does is that it runs the audio through a pair of tubes. These are some Philips tubes that I've bought from tubestore.com. I have upgraded them a couple of years back, and through some transformers, making for some harmonic distortion. And it sweetens the sound a bit. It gives you the analog feel without breaking the bank. You know, I bought this some years ago. I can't remember what I gave for it. I think it was maybe $800 or something in US dollars. 8,000 kroners I think I gave for it some years back, and it has treated me well. On the mix bus I have compressors, I have tape machines, I have EQs, which are emulations of hardware, but I have always wanted some real hardware to just give me that vibe, that feel, and the tactile, what's it called, and the physical feel. You know, it's hard to describe. I don't know if it makes that much of a difference, but it makes a difference, and that's the whole point. I can't think of any mix that I've done that doesn't benefit from being driven through that box, and I'll show you a couple of examples. But first, let me share with you my routing. So here you see I have the individual tracks in my mix. I have the bass, the kick, snare, hi-hat, snare fill, a main loop, and some hits, I'll call them. And then down here I have a test signal, and this is just for demonstration purposes, just to visualize what this unit does. And then I have my mix bus, where I have a plugin. It's just a regular VU meter actually. And then I have my what I call the ANA bus, which is short for analog bus. And here I have my IO plugin. I don't know what it is in other DAWs, but in Logic it's called the IO, which is used to route something out from the selected output and back into the interface in some output. And as you can see here, these are my outputs and inputs, but it might be different on different DAWs. And here you can use the ping function to synchronize the incoming and outgoing signal. And here's a dry wet function also, so you can actually do parallel processing, and that's pretty sweet, I think. So for instance, if you have a compressor, maybe a hardware compressor, you can use it in parallel. That's awesome. Okay. And then from the analog bus into it's a new audio track actually. It's just a regular audio track, stereo, which is called the analog print. And here, this one I used to print my sound. Whatever is in my DAW, whatever is in my session gets printed here, which is not muted, of course. And then it all goes to the master, where I have ready Pro Q3 for metering purposes only. I have here my frequency spectrum analyzer. Yeah, are you ready? Are you ready to see what this thing does? Okay, one moment. Okay, so let's just run the test signal. It's really unpleasant to listen to, so I'll just turn down my master fader. And let's open the Pro Q3. And here you see on the spectrum analyzer, we have a clean sine wave with a sharp spike at 1K. Let's go to the Anabus and engage the IO plugin and listen to what the Tegeler does. Ooh, enough. enough. Right. Now let's see. Let's check out my bass. Right. Here we have it going. And now what we can do is this. We can print it. And I will turn off my loop. And I'll mark this and let's hit record. Okay, now as you can see, we have a nice, oh, it looks clipped. It isn't clipped. It's more like this. Let's mute the mix bus and play back. It could be louder, but I will show you now. Just listen. What you can hear if you have a trained ear is that there are some sweet harmonic distortion going on across the complete frequency spectrum. Now I'm going to erase this and let's put on some extreme settings to check what else this box can do to work some magic. Right. So what I in essence did there was I've turned up the output volume, the volume going out from my audio interface and into my Tegeler. Now I've raised it with 10 decibels and then I will turn it down accordingly, 10 decibels, which would be the same. You see, it's equally loud, but the needles are going crazy. Let's go even crazier. Let's go 12 and 12. Okay. Okay, for demonstration purposes, let's go crazy. Now I have 12 dB and minus 12 here. And this is what goes out from the audio interface and into the Tegeler. And this is what goes into the audio interface from the Tegeler. Now let's take a listen. Okay, let's hit record and see what we get. Wow, look at this. So this is with the Tegeler and this is without. with the extreme setting, of course. Now let's mute the mix bus, solo this just in case. Listen. Now, I just want to explain one thing. If you take a look at this number here, it says 12 without the Tegeler. When the unprocessed signal comes, it will be turned up about 10 decibels without not much perceived loudness. Listen. Now, let's turn this up 10 dB and see if we have some more perceived loudness from this one. You see the waveform? It's crazy. So you see it's the same peaks. You see the peaks are the same, but the perceived loudness is much greater. And that's because we have driven the Tegeler quite extremely, but I would never do this to a mix bus. It's too extreme. But this was just to prove the point that this really distorts and saturates. But imagine doing this on bass, just on bass. And let me show you. Let's just hit the bass. And let's see. Okay, let's record the bass. And with. So you see here, the first 4 bars were without and then with. Check it out. Okay, and then the processed signal. Now let's distort the heck out of this bass. Gain plugin, the IO plugin, let's go. Let's record that and let's see how it goes. Now, that's the power of the Tegeler. If you say that you only use this as a summing mixer to some channels, yes, of course you can. But hell, you can have a lot of fun with this unit. And you can do it straight from your DAW. Of course, you have this output button. You can use that as well to turn up or turn down the output volume. And this is mainly for adjusting when you are distorting to compensate on the output. The VU meters show the output level, not the input level. We are quite used to seeing the input level being displayed, but on this unit, it's strictly the output unit. Wow, look at the waveform. It's clipped. It's clipped. Don't you think this is fun? You can have a unit like this used on the internet. You can buy it used for, I don't know, $600, $700, $800. That's the price these units go for. If it's a new type, it might be a bit more, maybe $1,000, $1,200 or something. But it's a sweet unit. If you don't have anything else analog to run through, this will color your mixes perfectly. What do you think? If you don't have hardware right now, would you consider trying it out? And if you have hardware, what type of hardware do you have? And do you use it like I do? Printing, mix bus, printing tracks like this? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to pick up my free PDF. The link is in the description. It's a mixing cheat sheet where I have broken down my mixing workflow into 10 simple to follow steps, which you can apply some of it or all of it in your own mixes. And there are also 15 bullet points of things that can improve your mixes. I call them cheat codes. You can call them whatever you want. It's marketing lingo for tips. Okay, but tips is so boring, so I've called them cheat codes from the gaming world. And that's it. I hope you liked it and have a good one. Peace.